You've been taught that you are someone. A name, a past, a body, a story, a person moving through time, chasing a future, healing a past. And yet, despite all your efforts to become more aware, more healed, more spiritual, you still feel like something unseen is holding you back. You may feel like you've upgraded your mindset, your habits, your vision. But life still loops. You attract the same types of people. The same emotional patterns repeat. The expansion you seek always seems just one step away. Why? Because the field doesn't respond to who you think you are. It doesn't recognize your goals, your affirmations, or even your desires. It responds to your frequency. And your frequency is not shaped by your conscious thoughts. It's shaped by your identity, the one embedded deep in your subconscious field. But here's the catch. The identity you know, the one you call me, is built on memory. It's a set of learned reactions, a structure of beliefs, emotions, and energetic signatures you picked up long before you became conscious of them. This identity, let's call it the known self, is deeply rooted in the material world. It's attached to time, space, and body. It believes in cause and effect. It fears the unknown. It clings to control. And that identity broadcasts the same signal to the field over and over again. So the field, intelligent, infinite, neutral, responds by sending you more of what matches your current identity, not what you want, but what you are, energetically. Now, here's where it gets powerful. Every time you try to create a new life using the same identity, you're operating from the past. You're trying to build the future using the energy of an outdated frequency. And the quantum field doesn't respond to the past. It only mirrors vibrational coherence. So if you want to experience a new timeline, you can't take the old self with you. That means releasing your attachment to your current personality, to your story, to who you've been trained to believe you are. This is not about abandoning yourself. It's about going beyond the version of you that was never truly chosen, only repeated. What would happen if you could let go of everything that defines you right now? Your name, your gender, your age, your job, your personal history. What would remain? That question is where the shift begins. Because the moment you stop identifying with your body, your past, your roles, you become no one. And becoming no one is the first step to becoming infinite. That's the doorway the field responds to. When you step into the unknown, when you truly surrender the identity that has been repeating the same loop, the field starts to reflect back something new. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped emitting the same signal. And just before we go deeper, if you're feeling something already, even if it's subtle, if this is resonating in a part of you that doesn't speak in words, then take a second to subscribe. Not just to this channel, but to this frequency. Because we're building something here. Not content, a field. And those who stay, shift. Now breathe in. Feel your body for a moment. And realize, even the sensations you're feeling now are part of the identity. But you are not the body. You are the awareness behind it, the field, the signal, the observer. And the more you shift from being someone to being awareness, the more you move into coherence with the quantum. In the next chapter, we'll explore the part of you that fights this truth, the ego. Because while the field responds only to frequency, your ego will do anything to keep you locked in the familiar. And it doesn't fight with force, it fights with repetition. And until you see how that pattern works, you'll keep trying to change your reality from inside the same cage. There is a part of you that does not want you to change. It is not evil. It is not broken. It is not even conscious. It is programmed. It is the part of you that learned how to survive. By repeating what worked once, even if it no longer serves you now. It is the one that says, be careful. Stay where it is familiar. Do not go too far. That voice is not fear. It is the ego, a frequency deeply encoded in your subconscious that runs on loops. Most people think of the ego as arrogance or self-importance, but that is only a surface-level definition. The ego is not your confidence. It is your attachment to the known self. It is the pattern that says, this is who I am. This is what I can do. This is how life works. Even if that identity was built through pain, trauma, or limitation, the ego will defend it. Because to the ego, familiar equals safe. Now here's the truth most people never hear. The ego does not operate through logic. It operates through repetition, and repetition becomes resonance, and resonance becomes frequency, and frequency becomes your reality. So every time you wake up and feel the same emotions, think the same thoughts, walk the same path, talk to the same people in the same way, you are not living your life. You are broadcasting the past. Again, your body becomes your memory. Your thoughts become echoes. Your emotions become rehearsals, and your reality becomes a mirror, showing you the same story over and over again. Not because you are cursed, but because your ego is doing its job, keeping you in the known, and the known is the cage. Here is where it becomes spiritual. You are not your ego, but you have been entangled with its frequency for so long, you forgot there was anything else. Every time you try to change, the ego panics. Not with screams, but with silence. It pulls you back into automatic thoughts. It reactivates old emotions. It makes your vision blurry and your memory sharp. Sharp only for the past. Because the ego cannot imagine the unknown. It has no reference point for freedom. And so it resists it, not by force, but by familiarity. You try to meditate, but your thoughts race. You try to visualize a new life, but old emotions flood your system. You try to feel the future, but the body keeps remembering the past. This is not failure. This is feedback. It means your egoic frequency is still the dominant broadcast, and the field, neutral and intelligent, responds to the dominant frequency. So if you want to shift realities, you cannot do it from within the loop. You must change the signal, not once, not with willpower, but with coherence. That means reprogramming your baseline state, not just with thoughts, but with new emotions, new behaviors, new experiences of stillness and presence. Now here is something important. Your ego is not the enemy. It is just outdated software. It was written for a version of reality that no longer exists, or that you no longer want. You do not destroy it. You upgrade it by disidentifying from it. How? By becoming aware of it, by watching it, by witnessing the moment it activates and choosing not to react. That single moment of awareness is the crack in the loop, and through that crack, a new frequency can begin to enter. Let me say this clearly. You cannot become someone new while defending who you have always been. And the ego, that beautiful, ancient protector, will only relax when your awareness becomes stronger than your identity. This is why the path to freedom is not in doing more. It is in being less reactive, less identified, less certain, less attached, so you can become open, still, neutral, and from that 0 point, emit a different signal. In the next chapter, we will go deeper. Because the ego does not just live in your personality, it lives in your perception of time, and your relationship to space. And until you transcend the illusion of time and the fixation of the body, you will continue to create from the past. But when you release the grip of the timeline, you step into the now that contains every possible future. If you could observe yourself from beyond the mind, you would notice something extraordinary. Your life is not unfolding. It is repeating. The thoughts you think today, the emotions you feel, the decisions you make, most of them are not new. They are patterns, echoes from a timeline your body remembers, even if your mind no longer does. You see, the body is not just a vessel, it is a living record. A library of reactions, emotions, traumas, and identities that have become biological. Every emotion you have not processed, every memory you have rehearsed, every belief you have absorbed, has been encoded into the cells, into the posture, into the way you breathe, move, and feel. The body is not in time. It is time. It carries your entire past into every present moment. And if you do not interrupt the signal, you are not living the present. You are reliving the past in real time. Time, as you perceive it, is not linear. It is neurological. It is a rhythm, shaped by the programs your body repeats without question. And that is why change often feels so difficult. Because when you try to create a new life, you are doing it while carrying an entire past inside your skin. You sit to meditate, but your body keeps remembering how it usually feels. You try to visualize the future, but your nervous system stays anchored to the same emotional baseline. You want to believe in new possibilities, but your body keeps returning to what is familiar. Not because it is right, but because it is known. That is what the subconscious does. It favors the predictable. It measures safety by repetition. And it uses time as a structure to repeat itself through. So, how do you break free? First, you must see clearly. Time is not something outside of you. It is a loop running inside you, through your body, through your senses, through your automatic identity. And every time you define yourself based on your past, you activate the full memory of that identity in your biology. I am not good enough. This always happens to me. I cannot change. Each thought like this is not just mental. It is chemical. It releases hormones, signals neural pathways, and confirms the story your body already believes. This is why the field continues to reflect the same experiences. Because it is responding to the energetic signal being emitted from the body's memory, not the mind's desire. Real transformation begins when you stop being loyal to your timeline. That means you stop being the version of yourself that only knows how to feel through the past. You start asking different questions. Not, what happened to me? But who would I be if I did not remember it this way? You begin to feel emotions before the evidence appears. You begin to anchor new states of being that are not reactions, but creations. And slowly, the body begins to trust something else. Something beyond memory. Something beyond survival. Something beyond time. It begins to trust presence. And in that presence, you collapse the illusion. You interrupt the feedback loop. You stop rehearsing the version of you that was wired by experience. And you begin to become the version that is designed by intention. But the body will not give up the past easily. It will crave the chemicals of emotion it has known for years. It will whisper doubt. It will ache. It will want to move. To check. To do something. Because the body only feels alive when it is sensing what is familiar. So your practice is to stay. To remain present long enough for the body to realize that peace is not unfamiliar. That the unknown is not dangerous. That silence is not emptiness. but fullness in another language. And as you stay, something begins to shift, not in the mind, but in the field. You begin to sense a subtle expansion, a widening, a softening. You are no longer in time. You are no longer moving through the story. You are the space it happens in. You are the observer, the presence, the stillness. And it is in that stillness that the signal begins to change. From memory to creation, from survival to coherence, from identity to possibility. Because when you are no longer loyal to time, you become available to the timeless. And the timeless is where the field lives. Now, something new becomes possible. Something powerful. You are ready to release the body, not abandon it, but liberate it. To step into the state of no one, no thing, nowhere, in no time. And in doing so, to become what the field recognizes. Consciousness, pure, unbound, creative, free. Let us go there now, not as a concept, but as an experience. The practice begins in silence. Close your eyes for a moment, not because you are escaping the world, but because you are stepping into the one that lives beyond it. Begin to withdraw your attention from the outer, from the walls around you, from the room, from your name, from your responsibilities. Let it all fade. What remains? A presence, a subtle awareness, a quiet hum of existence. This is where it begins. The practice of dissolving into the field is not a doing. It is a releasing. A gentle unhooking from every layer that has convinced you that you are only a body, in a world, in a timeline. Let us begin there, with the body. Bring your awareness to your feet, feel them, and now release them. Let go of their edges, let go of the shape, let them dissolve into space. Now your legs. Soften them, not with effort, with surrender. Imagine their weight melting, blurring into the air around you. Move upward. Your hips, your stomach, your chest. Breathe gently. Feel the breath move, not inside a body, but inside a field. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench the jaw. Soften the tongue. Now, become aware of your face, and let it fade. What if there were no boundaries to your skin? What if you were not inside your body, but the body was inside your awareness? Release the image. Release the container. You are not form. You are space. And in that space, no identity exists. There is no history, no story, no future. There is only presence. And this presence is not empty. It is full of potential, of intelligence, of possibility. Now imagine the room around you dissolving. No walls, no ceiling, no floor, only space. Infinite, black, alive space, vibrating, breathing, holding you. You are not observing it. You are it. There is no more location. You are nowhere. There is no more body. You are no one. There is no more name. You are nothing. And in that nothing, you become everything. The field begins to respond here, not to your desires, not to your memories, but to the signal of pure coherence. This is the frequency of creation itself. This is where thought merges with energy and becomes form. But you must not try to create. You must not force anything, because creation in this space is not control. It is resonance. You must simply hold the frequency and become it. So breathe now, not as a person, but as presence. Feel what it means to exist without edges, to be aware without a center, to allow life to flow through you without needing to explain it. This is not imagination. This is remembering, because the truth is, you have been here before, in moments of stillness, in dreams, in silence, in awe, moments when the self dissolved and only awareness remained. You have just forgotten. And that is what the ego fears most. Not death, but irrelevance. In this space, the ego has nothing to do. No story to repeat. No identity to defend. No goal to achieve. It fades, and you remain, you, as awareness, as consciousness, as the field itself. This is the space where transformation begins. Not from willpower, but from frequency. And the longer you remain here, the more your nervous system learns a new rhythm, the more your cells entrain to peace, the more your identity dissolves into something greater, and the field responds. Not with flashes or lightning or signs, but with subtle reordering, tiny synchronicities, strange calm, unexpected clarity. A softness where there used to be urgency. And slowly, you begin to realize you are not becoming anything. You are simply no longer trying to be what you were never meant to be. The field does not need you to be special. It does not need you to prove anything. It only needs you to become available. And availability only happens when the known self steps aside and allows life to flow through the unknown. You are that unknown. And you are ready. Remain in this space, long enough for your biology to catch up, for your mind to surrender, for your old codes to unravel. Because in this space, you are not the question. You are the answer. And what comes next is the moment you begin living from this frequency, not as a practice, but as a state of being. Let us enter it together. What if you stopped trying to become anything? What if the version of you have been chasing is not in the future, but already here, waiting in stillness, in silence, in frequency? The truth is, there is nothing to reach. There is only alignment with what already exists. When you dissolve, the known self, when you transcend identity, time, and space, you return to what you truly are. Not a person, not a mind, not a story, but a field, a vacuum, a presence so vast and coherent that it contains all possibility. The ancient mystics called this the void. The scientists call it the quantum field. Dispenza calls it pure consciousness. But in truth, it is you. And when you become aware of this, everything changes. Because now, you are no longer asking the field to give you something. You are no longer praying from separation. You are no longer seeking, fixing, controlling, or waiting. You are simply becoming compatible with what is already available. The vacuum, the space of pure potential, is not empty. It is alive. It is intelligence. It is consciousness before form. And when you stabilize yourself in that state, you begin to emanate that intelligence into form. This is the secret most never understand. The field does not respond to your effort. It responds to your coherence. And coherence comes not from wanting, but from being. So breathe now, not to relax, but to anchor. Anchor yourself in presence, in stillness, in awareness. You are not asking for anything. You are allowing everything. You are not trying to control reality. You are becoming so still, so aligned, that reality begins to organize itself around you. This is not magic. It is physics. It is resonance. It is what happens when you become the vacuum that contains no resistance. only pure signal. And that signal is felt. It is received. It echoes through the field and begins to activate timelines, versions, people, and possibilities that match your new state of being. So you no longer chase your desires. They begin to orbit you, because you have become the gravitational center. You are no longer a self inside a field. You are the field, expressing itself through a self. This is the final shift, not of thought, but of identity, and it cannot be forced. It can only be remembered, because in truth, you never lost it. You only covered it with stories, names, timelines, emotions, beliefs. But the field was always there, quiet, patient, still, waiting for you to remember that you are not separate from it. You are not inside the universe. The universe is inside of you. So now, in this space, you no longer have to hold on. You do not need to repeat mantras. You do not need to visualize harder. You do not need to convince the field of anything. You simply need to remain open, present, available. Because now, you are not the one trying to shift reality. You are the shift itself. You are the center of gravity. You are the code. You are the frequency. And from this space, everything begins to respond. If this activated something in you, even something subtle, even something without words, let it settle in you. Do not rush to explain it. Let it rewire you in silence. Let it dissolve what no longer belongs. Let it recalibrate what was hidden. Let it open what you could not reach before. And if you feel called, share your resonance. Comment below. I am the field. Let your presence be felt, not as proof, but as coherence. And if you are walking this path with me, if you are becoming not someone new but no one at all, subscribe now. Not just to this channel, but to this new signal. This is not a video. This is a portal, and those who remain transmit. You are the field, and the field responds, always.